I turned 30 next week. Any strats? I don't know, man. My 20s were like filled with mistakes. I mean, just all I did was mistake after mistake.
Thank you.
So I feel like when I turned 30, it was like this huge, like, correct all your mistakes moment in my life, and my 30s have been super tight. Like, I just learned from all of them and fixed them, and my 20s were, everything was a mistake. Nothing but. All I did was make mistakes in my 20s. And in my 30s, I mean, you know, still mistakes, but I think I've made great decisions and great changes in my life, and just everything has been so smart. How did that happen? I don't know if that will happen to you, but I was a dumb asshole in my 20s. Not at the time, but in hindsight. So who knows, maybe when I'm in my 40s, I'm going to be like, I was a dumb asshole in my 30s. I'm not sure, but as of right now, 30s are super tight. And 20s, at the time, they were pretty tight, but I guess not really. In hindsight, they were trash, and I was a dummy. Thanks, Crib and Kairosin. Anyway, happy birthday whenever your birthday was. I forgot. Yeah, I like 30s. They're pretty sweet. All part of growing up. Yeah, you're right. Learning from mistakes. Learning from other people's mistakes. I've gotten good at that. Actually, you know what? I think in my... not just my 20s. My whole life. I feel like I spent a lot of my life waiting till I made a mistake before I learned from it. But in my 30s, I've focused more on learning from other people's mistakes too. That's for sure. You don't have to make it yourself. When I was a kid, man, I definitely remember this one moment where they had just got done with the barbecue. I must have been like 3 or something. 3 or 4 years old. They had just gotten done with the barbecue. My mom said, don't touch this shit. It's hot. Not in those words. But she said it's hot. Don't touch it. And then they went inside, and I was alone with the barbecue. Just me and the barbecue. And I was basically, in my head, I thought, don't tell me what to do. Fuck you. And I touched that shit. And it was so hot. What the? Mating ritual? Yo, we got a pile up. Oh my god. The cheetah cheats. Damn, would you let off the throttle for a second? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. That shit was hot. It burned my hand. Anyway, I pretty much had this mentality until I turned 30. More or less. I pretty much followed the same way of thinking until I turned 30. Like, don't do that? Fuck you. I'll do whatever I want. That kind of attitude. But then I learned what a moron I am. Maybe better late than never.